The Iron Crown of Lombardy, the artifact that ruled Europe. The birth of a relic. In the shadowed corridors of early medieval Europe, few artifacts carried the weight of legend like the Iron Crown of Lombardy. Forged in the crucible of faith, conquest, and myth, the crown was said to contain within its golden frame a band of iron, believed to be one of the nails from the crucifixion of Christ. This sacred relic, embedded in regal splendor, became more than a symbol of kingship. It was a divine mandate, a talisman of legitimacy, and a silent witness to the rise and fall of empires. Its origins trace back to the Lombard queen Theodelinda in the 7th century, a devout Catholic who played a pivotal role in converting the Lombards from Arianism to Roman Christianity. The crown, according to tradition, was a gift from Pope Gregory I, forged to unite the spiritual and temporal realms. Crafted in Byzantine style, it bore 7 gold plates, each adorned with precious gems, and bound together by the iron circlet, the supposed nail of Christ. From its inception, the crown was not merely worn, it was revered. The Lombard legacy. The Lombards, a Germanic people who carved out a kingdom in northern Italy, saw the Iron Crown as the embodiment of their divine right to rule. Kings such as Liutprand and Desiderius wore it during their coronations in Monza, where the crown was housed in the cathedral. It became the cornerstone of Lombard identity, a fusion of warrior pride and Christian devotion. But the Lombard dream was not to last. In 774, Charlemagne, king of the Franks, crossed the Alps and crushed the Lombard kingdom. In a symbolic gesture of conquest and continuity, Charlemagne placed the Iron Crown upon his head, proclaiming himself king of the Lombards. This act marked the beginning of the crown's journey across centuries of European power struggles. Charlemagne and the Carolingian vision. Charlemagne's coronation with the Iron Crown was more than a political maneuver. It was a statement of divine inheritance. By wearing the crown, he linked himself to the legacy of Roman emperors and Christian kings. His empire, stretching from the Pyrenees to the Danube, was a mosaic of cultures and faiths. The Iron Crown became the emblem of unity, a relic that bound disparate peoples under one sovereign vision. Under Charlemagne, the crown gained prestige. It was no longer just the regalia of Lombard kings, it became a symbol of imperial ambition. Though his imperial coronation by Pope Leo III in Rome in 800 involved a different crown, the Iron Crown remained central to his rule in Italy. It was used to legitimize Carolingian successors, each seeking to inherit the mantle of the great emperor. The Holy Roman Empire and the ritual of power. As the Carolingian dynasty waned, the Iron Crown passed into the hands of the Ottonians, and later the Hohenstaufens. It became one of the regalia used in the coronation of the kings of Italy, a title held by the Holy Roman Emperors. The ritual was elaborate. The emperor-elect would be crowned king of Germany in Aachen, king of Italy with the Iron Crown in Milan or Monza, and finally emperor in Rome by the Pope. This triadic coronation underscored the layered nature of medieval sovereignty. The Iron Crown, in particular, symbolized control over Italy, a region of immense strategic and symbolic value. Frederick Barbarossa, Henry VII, and Charles IV all sought its embrace, each hoping to harness its mystique to bolster their rule. Yet the crown was elusive. Wars, papal disputes, and regional rebellions often disrupted the coronation rituals. At times, the crown was hidden, stolen, or lost. But it always resurfaced, as if drawn by the gravitational pull of ambition. Renaissance reverence and Habsburg ambitions. By the Renaissance, the Iron Crown had become a relic of antiquity, revered as much for its sacred origins as for its political symbolism. The Habsburgs, who inherited the mantle of the Holy Roman Empire, embraced the crown with fervor. Charles V, whose empire spanned continents, was crowned with it in Bologna in 1530, the last Holy Roman Emperor to receive a papal coronation. For Charles, the Iron Crown was a bridge between old and new. It linked his global empire to the medieval traditions of Christendom. It was a reminder that even in an age of gunpowder and exploration, legitimacy still flowed from ancient rites. The crown's presence in Italy became a point of pride and contention. It was housed in Monza, guarded by the cathedral and revered by locals. Pilgrims came to see it, artists painted it, and scholars debated its origins. It was no longer just a tool of power, it was a cultural icon. Napoleon and the theatrics of empire. In 1805, the Iron Crown found itself in the hands of a new master, Napoleon Bonaparte. The Corsican general, who had crowned himself Emperor of the French in 1804, sought to extend his dominion over Italy. In a grand ceremony in Milan, he placed the Iron Crown upon his head and declared, "God gave it to me, beware who touches it." This moment was pure Napoleonic theater. By using the Iron Crown, Napoleon linked himself to Charlemagne, the Holy Roman Emperors, and the kings of old. He crafted a narrative of continuity, casting himself as the heir to centuries of European rule. The crown, once a relic of medieval piety, became a prop in the drama of modern empire. Napoleon's Italian kingdom was short-lived, but the symbolism endured. The Iron Crown was incorporated into the heraldry of the Napoleonic Order of the Iron Crown, a chivalric order meant to reward loyalty and valor. The crown's image appeared on medals, documents, and architecture, a constant reminder of its imperial legacy. The Risorgimento and the birth of Italy. After Napoleon's fall, the Iron Crown returned to Austrian hands, as the Habsburgs reasserted control over northern Italy. But the winds of nationalism were rising. The 19th century saw the birth of the Risorgimento, the movement to unify Italy. The crown, once a symbol of foreign rule, became a beacon of Italian identity. In 1859, after the Second Italian War of Independence, the crown passed to the House of Savoy. Victor Emmanuel II, the first king of the United Italy, embraced the crown as a symbol of national unity. Though not used in his coronation, it was displayed prominently, linking the new kingdom to the ancient traditions of Lombardy. The Iron Crown became a relic of patriotism. It was no longer just a tool of emperors, it was a testament to Italy's long and tumultuous journey. Museums showcased it, poets praised it, and citizens saw in it the reflection of their heritage. 20th century shadows, fascism and the crown. The 20th century brought darker chapters. In 1938, Adolf Hitler visited Italy and was shown the Iron Crown in Monza. Though he never wore it, the symbolism was potent. Hitler, obsessed with relics and symbols of power, saw in the crown a link to imperial grandeur. His regime, steeped in myth and spectacle, revered such artifacts. The crown was not used in Nazi ceremonies, but its aura lingered. Mussolini, too, invoked its legacy, casting himself as a modern Caesar. The Iron Crown, once a symbol of Christian kingship, was now caught in the web of fascist propaganda. Yet it survived. Through war, occupation, and upheaval, the crown remained in Monza, protected by clergy and citizens alike. It became a silent witness to the horrors of the 20th century, a reminder that symbols can be twisted, but their essence endures. The crown today, memory and meaning. Today, the Iron Crown rests in the Cathedral of Monza, encased in glass and bathed in reverent light. Tourists gaze upon it, historians debate its origins, and Italians see in it a fragment of their past. It is no longer worn, but its legacy is alive. The crown's journey, from Theodelinda to Charlemagne, from Napoleon to Mussolini, is a tapestry of ambition, faith, and myth. It has crowned emperors and inspired revolutions. It has been revered, stolen, hidden, and displayed. It is a relic of Europe's soul. Its iron band, said to be forged from a nail of the crucifixion, reminds us that power and sacrifice are intertwined. Its golden plates, adorned with gems, speak of splendor and pride. And its presence in Monza, after centuries of turmoil, is a testament to endurance. Conclusion: the artifact that ruled Europe. The Iron Crown of Lombardy is more than a piece of regalia. It is a symbol of Europe's complex history, a continent shaped by faith, war, and dreams of unity. It has passed through the hands of conquerors and visionaries, each seeking to harness its mystique. Charlemagne saw in it the promise of empire. Napoleon used it to craft a new legacy. Hitler admired its aura but could not claim its grace. And through it all, the crown endured, silent, sacred, and sovereign. In the end, the Iron Crown did not rule Europe. But those who wore it believed they did. And in that belief, the crown became a mirror of ambition, reflecting the hopes, fears,